Hi there, friends. Welcome to this first Friday devotional of January 2022. I'm so delighted that you have chosen to push play. I'm going to take us to Genesis chapter 6 today. This is part of our Together in the Word reading plan that we started last Saturday, January 1st. Feel free to jump in on that reading plan at any time. We're just about halfway through the month of January now. I guess not quite, we're only on the 7th, but feel free to dive into that at any point. I'm going to take us to chapter 6, starting in verse 5 today. The Lord saw how great man's wickedness on the earth had become, and that every inclination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil all the time. The Lord was grieved that he had made man on the earth, and his heart was filled with pain. That's a pretty powerful statement for God to say, that he was grieved and his heart was full of pain. So that's what the culture, that's what God saw. What he had thought was good and considered good before the fall was now grieving him because of the way they were living. So looking down in verse 8, it says, "But Noah found favor in the eyes of the Lord." This is the account of Noah. Noah was a righteous man, blameless among the people of his time, and he walked with God. What a contrast. We see on the one hand, the culture, the nature of man at that point was grieving the heart of God. But then we see Noah is considered righteous and blameless, and that the Lord said he walked with him. What contrasting statements. And it led me to ask the question of how did that happen? How did Noah live a life that was so different? And I believe the answer comes at the very last verse of chapter 6. It says, "Noah did everything just as God commanded him." That's not easy to do. We know that from our own lives, but also you look at the life of Noah. If God was ready to wipe away everything he had created on the earth, if that was the world that Noah was living in, this is quite a contrast for him to be living in a way that he does whatever God commands him to. So how did he do that? By following the commands of the Lord and walking with God daily. And we see by these dying to self ways that Noah walked with God, the ways he laid down every day, persevering amongst the ridicule and the pain of being different, because it is painful to be different sometimes. Noah persevered, and not only was he rewarded, he was the essentially lifeline for the human race that led to, the animals and his family being on the ark. He was who God renewed his covenant with after the flood. He was chosen to be the one to carry that promise on. It took one man for God to do that. It took one man who obeyed what God said. It took one man who walked with him to make a difference. And I wonder, for so many of us, if we need that reminder right now, if things seem so hard and so overwhelming and it just seems like we're dragging. But remember that just one person can make a difference. God sees your obedience. He sees your heart. He sees how you are longing after him. And your obedience can make a difference in the life of your family and so many other people that you may not even know until we're with the Lord in eternity. But I want to encourage you with that story of Noah today, that he made the hard choices. We know he wasn't sinful, or he wasn't sinless. We know that from chapters, and we know God never said he was sinless, but we know he did the hard things, and that God rewarded him and blessed him with that. So I want to encourage us with that today, to sit with the Lord and ask him to give you direction and guidance in your day. Maybe he's asking you to do something today and is there just waiting for you to step out in faith and follow him, just as Noah did. So with that, I'm going to leave you. Have a great weekend. Until next time, God bless.